took a break and I was thinking about this architectural issue, and it really is, where do you put the complexity? And one of the drivers for that is where our user is going to be exposed to complexity. Who's going to be using it? Who's maintaining it? Who's deploying it? Who's modifying it? You know, where will that complexity live? There's a great product called Octopus Deploy, which takes care of the deployment part of continuous, integration, continuous delivery. So that's things like provisioning it onto a server, setting the secrets for that particular instance, and then starting the application. You can kind of do that with GitHub Actions. So you push to a branch, it'll, you got to do quite a bit of manual coding for that. So it'll deploy it onto the server, start it, stop it, that kind of thing. Should this application run all the time, or should it be invoked? Because it runs once a month. Should it be running for the rest of the month, or should it be invoked only once a month, run and then stop? Now, if we take that model, what actually invokes it? That needs to be something that's running all the time. If it's in AWS, then AWS is always running. If we make it a cron job, what that means is that wherever it's deployed, the operating system itself needs to be mutated. That's not an ideal solution. So I thought about it a little bit more, and you know what really makes sense here is to trigger it from Camunda Cloud, to integrate this, this tool with Camunda Cloud and have Camunda Cloud run a BPM process, which then triggers this once a month on a timer. And then we can also give it the ability to be triggered not once a month, but on demand with a test run so that we can check the output. So let's do that. Let's head to the studio. Here we are. Okay. Now my headphones have gone loud again. Wonder what it is that does this. I'll figure it out later. I know how to stop it. I need to find boom audio. There it is there. Click this. Change from Ecamm Live app audio to H5. H5. There we go. Good. Now, in order to do this, let's create the BPMN model. And then we'll also, I wonder if I put it under source or under, let's just make a new folder here called BPMN. We'll put it in there. So, create a new BPMN diagram. So what we want to do is we want to create a timer, and then a service task, and then we want to loop back around. So this is, let's grab this. Dun, dun, dun. Actually, a better way to do it is to get rid of that. Goodbye. What is using all my CPU right now? Maybe, could it be the ZB modeler itself? It's an Electron app. Let's have a look. Come on. And what are the processes using all my CPU? It is kernel task. Well, that's helpful. The YouTube Music desktop app is using a lot. I need to find another solution for that. Maybe like a Vox plugin. Anywho, delete this. From the timer, we should go to, okay, you can't put it in there. We need to go to a sub-process. That's a pool. That's a thing. What's this? What's this? Is this? That's a sub-process. Here we go. So every time the timer fires, we go to the sub-process. In the sub-process, we execute the task, and then we end this. And then we loop back around again to the timer. Okay. That's better. like that. Like that. Runs forever. So we'll make this into a timer. It's a timer intermediate catch event. This one's a service task. Can I switch this to music only? I don't need to see video, pictures and stuff. It probably uses up our CPU. CPU is pegging out right now. Let's have a look. Experimental, easy tray controller. Oh yeah, let's leave that on for the time being. Appearance. Page zoom. Title bar style. Custom theme. Integration. Discord rich presence. Turn that off. Shortcuts. About. YTM desktop app. 1.8.0. This is a service task now, and we'll call it collect stats. Like that. And then we'll make here collect stats is the type. Now this is the name of the process, so we'll call this process stats collection. Stats dash collection. Stats dot collection. That's the name. So this is actually the human readable name. So let's say run stats collector monthly. Human readable name. Good. Okay. The ID can be stats collection collector monthly. Like that. Nice. Okay. Okay, so start. Now, the period here, the timer duration, I don't know if we can run it at a specific time. We could invoke it daily and then just check. Let's have a look at what's possible with these timers. Let me grab this over here. What's happening? CPU is freaking out. May have to get rid of my music player. Exit. Goodbye. Stats. YouTube music player. So I want to see a BPMN timer period. BPMN timer period. Adding delays, deadlines, and time-based cycles. Timer events. Here we go. And what I might do is I might play some music from monstercat.com. I actually have a coding playlist in here. I might play the music in the stream today, I think. I know Bernt doesn't like it, but Bernt's not watching, so we can listen to some together. Play. There we go. Volume control. Timer events. Triggered by a defined timer. Defining a time, duration, time cycle. Specifies repeating intervals. Here we go. Oh, we go. Cron. Beautiful. Cron trigger tutorial. One wonders though, does ZB support that? Let's have a look at the ZB docs. Maybe it's because I'm streaming in HD. Could that be it? Who knows? Let's have a look at the ZB docs. Timer periods. I'm kind of an impatient guy, so slow things sort of make me a little unhappy. 200%, that's a little bit much. Let's go down. 125, okay. 110, interesting. 100. Let's try closing some of these windows over here, see if that helps. Okay, the ZB docs. Okay, here we go. Could it be Electron? It seems like it's Electron apps. Let's try saving this and then see if closing the ZB modeler helps it out. Save file as. Hello, wake up. Oof, very slow. So, Commanda Stats Collector is the imaginative name that I came up with for this. Stats Crawler, BPMN, and then I like to name my files with the same name as the process. So this was Stats Collector Monthly, like that. And why that collapsed back in again. Save. Okay. Let's close the ZB modeler. See if that helps the CPU at all. Okay, it's gone. Docker is not running, so it's not that. Anywho, okay, so BPMN workflows. I'm guessing this is where it would be. Events, timer events. Timers. Okay, you can use a variable. Specific time, time duration, time cycle. An expression. If the expression belongs to a timer start, evaluate deploying. Okay. Can I use the cron though? See if the internet knows. ZB timer cron. Let's try that. How to set a cron expression in a ZB BPMN. And the conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, is not supported. That was June 4. Bummer. Not supported. Okay. Daily basis, daily at 10 a.m. Open feature request, use a time cycle and define a specific time. One way, model a workflow with a timer start event that is a time cycle of every day, deployed at 10 a.m. Okay. What? Okay. Implemented in the broker, yeah. November, okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah. So you could set it to a specific time and then period 1 month. I also need this feature. It's a duplicate of that one. I also need this feature. Command BPM supports cron scheduling. Which would be very flexible. Although it would depend on the time zone of the server. I'm thinking Command Cloud. You could make the broker always evaluate in UTC. So timer events. Time cycle. Just put a link here. Oh yeah, can link it in line, that's pretty cool. Comment. I already gave it a thumbs up. Okay, yeah. Okay, well how am I going to get around this now? Thing is that, okay, I can't use that anyway, so I don't need that. If I deploy it once it's deployed, could trigger it every day. Leave the app running continuously. It triggers every day. Okay, well, let's if that's the case, then this doesn't even need to be triggered by command BPMN. Can I raise an incident and keep the thing running? I'm not sure about that actually. Let's open the modeler again. If I can't do the scheduling in Command Cloud, then really that's the entire, basically the entire process machinery is the scheduling. If I'm just going to trigger it every day and then do a check to see if it's the time to run in here, I mean, why don't I just schedule it internally? Is there another way to do this? Let's have a look. Could I trigger it every day and then put a conditional gateway with an expression? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Timers. You can use access a variable using temporal variables. Okay. Date and time expiration date minus date and time creation date. Let's have a look at this. So I'm pretty sure I can use it on sequence flow on an exclusive gateway condition. Okay, so the expression language, let's have a look. Field Scala built-in functions. Convert a value into a different type. Date. Time. Can I get the current date and time? Nope. Duration. From a string. Can I get the current time? So, actually, here is a thought. If you add a field function to get the current UTC time, you can put an exclusive gateway after a timer and express the duration or the period as a condition and loop back to a daily timer. If it is not the right time, if it is not yet the right time, here we go. So, how could I get the time? How could I get the time into the... There's no way to execute any code in here. From... Okay. Built-in functions. Can I get back to... Nope. Is there anything else that field can do? Built-in functions. Expression. Data type. No, there's nothing in there that can do it. Okay. What other options do I have with this? Okay, is there a way... No. There are no inputs into this machine aside from here and here. It's a black box otherwise. No way to trigger it. Well, anyway, I could make it testable via this. So I could do this. Put another start event. Can you have 2 start events? No, you can only have 1 start event. Here, so we'll make this, it's a period. Is it PT? 1M? I think that's it. Trigger event at a specific time. Another question in the forum. Fixed time delay like a cron job. Using it by Java crons. Time a start event. If you're too much the workflow, these are starting the process every 60 minutes, then yes. It's a technical reason I'd keep it in Java. It's interesting. I would prefer Java here. I personally would prefer. Okay, so let's break this link. We're not able to do this, so we'll break that. And then this is how we'll trigger this, the test. I was thinking about putting a web interface on it because I was thinking, how can I access it when it's running on a remote system? But this is the way I can create a garage interface to it. Run stats collector, so stats collector monthly. So we'll just call it stats collector in that case. Run stats collector. End. And then here, we'll put a service task, and then we'll go test stats collection. Yeah, okay, and then the type will be test stats. So this is how we can trigger it at any time to test it. So it will be always running. This gives us an interface. Okay, so in that case, what we'll do is we'll add the ZB Node client to this project. And then what we're doing here is every time it runs, we're running the query, which is not necessarily what we want. Yeah, okay, and then we need another reporting actor. Okay, this is going to be interesting because now we've got more communication management of state, so we get to see what this NACT library can do. Okay, so, well, const zbc equals new zb client. Can it import it? Nope. Okay, import from ZB Node. Now does it know? Yep. Add. Very good. So it can now connect to a Camunda Cloud, and then it should deploy the deploy workflow, string, path. So I guess we say BPMN stats collector monthly, it's called. So file save as, save it as stats collector. Okay, stats.collector .bpmn. Save. Okay. So we're deploying that. Now, if that throws, what should we do? Just log it out. Console.error. And if it doesn't throw, then console.log. Like that. Okay, so const underscore equals zbc dot create worker. Okay. Task type. And the task type now we match to this test stats collection. So this is the test worker. So in that case, we should call it test worker. Task handler. And so here, job and complete. It's going to be an ugly query that you have to pass into it. No, I wouldn't pass in any query. It's like, I literally... Yeah. So here, we're going to dispatch this. It probably needs to be inside an actor, actually. Okay. So we need to have a test actor. Test actor. Okay. It's a stateless actor. So it's a not a stats query actor. Go to the definition. It is a, who knows? Let's go to the NACT documentation. NACT. Actor.js. Here we go, nact.io. That's the obvious one. So you got two choices here, Reason ML and JavaScript. So we'll go with JavaScript. This is going to be a stateless actor. Spawn stateless here. So test actor. It's a stateless actor. No, it needs to be a stateful actor actually, because it needs to have a should it be a stateful actor or a stateless actor? Okay, there's an impedance mismatch here, because what we're going to do is we're going to call this workflow synchronously. So we're going to await the workflow outcome. So we're going to call it using zbctl at the command line, start an instance of the workflow, and then we should expect to receive the report outcome as the response. What's going to happen here is a worker is going to see, okay, there's an instance of this job of the test stats collector, and it's going to fire off this it's going to dispatch this message to the but it will be like a query test, like this, like that. Go to the definition, yeah. So you got query, and now we'll also have query test. So query test will not write to the Google Docs. Query test will now. I guess I could pass around the reference to the complete function. Yeah. Wonder if I can do that. And then just complete it in a stateless actor that's the outcome reporter. Or we could use the forwarded. In order to be able to complete, see, it's all decoupled once we go inside here. The other way I could do it is I could make this stats collector a synchronous No, I can't because it uses its state as an accumulator. And I've done it this way in order to be able to parallelize all of the requests that go out from it to make it faster. So I can't query it. It relies on receiving messages. Let me think about this a little bit more. So our test, we can make this full screen. So our test worker creates a worker, waits for one of these to come in. Yep. Message type of the stats collector. It can also take a, go to the definition of the stats collector message. Yeah, okay. So it can now also take a query test. Query test. Now, this points to something that I saw before, which is that it should use like a switch case. So here we would go, this will help me to see if it's exhaustive. Yeah, if I go switch on message.type, I think this is how I do this, like that. And then I go case, message type, query. Then I basically do away with this, like that. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe I take that out. Nope. Okay, no. I don't really use switch that often. Case, yeah. So why is this unreachable code? I'll try saving and see if it reformats. No. Maybe I don't do the colon, maybe I do that. Nope, okay. Let's see. This is not embarrassing at all that I'm case switch. And then, yeah, when I do case switch, I don't often do case switch, but when I do, switch case, but when I do, I use braces. Switch expression, case X code block break. Case X code block break. Didn't break, that's why. Okay. Where do I put the break? Here? Nope. Let's have a look. Yep. Okay. So JavaScript switch case braces. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. Use curly braces inside JavaScript. Here we go. Case, yeah. Dun dun dun. Action case colon. Yep. So Yeah, I have to put a colon there. But why is this unreachable code here? Let's have a look again. Case, yeah, okay. Case. Switch on message type. Type, message type. Switch. Is it? Don't tell me it's indentation. Nope. Nope. Is it because of this? It still says it's unreachable. Oh, okay, because it's not inside a case. Right. So message type result. I think you can do this. This is how I'm thinking it works. Message type dot error. Like this. I think you can stack them like this. Yep. Okay. So in that case, this is also, oh, hang on. Message type. Go to the type definition. Message type. Okay. TypeScript. TypeScript. Enum. Case. Exhaustive. Yeah. Enums. Time when you have a value, yeah, blah, 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 whatever. Exhaustive check dot type. Example takes a union type. Exhaustive check. Default, that's runtime. That's no good. Oh, okay. Because it's a never, let's see if it works. So here, we put default. Return. Exhaustive check. Message.type. This is quite smart. No, it's not. Okay. Handbook. Numeric enums. Enums. String enums. Subtle runtime difference. Serialize. Yeah, that's good. Reverse mapping. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Union enums. Kind. Yeah, okay. Enums are real objects that exist at runtime. E has a property named X. In that case, do we need to do string enums if they're just... It has a property named X. Reverse mapping. Yeah, okay, so in that case, I may be able to, let's try this. If I get rid of these, what does that do? No, they're numeric. I don't really care though because they're being passed internally. So if I go to my app, no, to my stats collector, message type, 1, 2, default, query test. So if I now put in case query test here, message type, it doesn't tell me which one is missing, but it tells me that something is missing. That should go away. No, it doesn't go away. Type does not exist on type never. There we go. So if I go back up here and comment out that line, yeah, okay, I've got an exhaustive check. Yeah. Would be better if it was baked in to write some. Forgot to handle case 3. Yeah, assert unreachable is better. So, Zeta. Rename the symbol to assert unreachable. Having to write actual code and then do that. And then if we go back to the types and then turn them back into string enums, let's see if it still works. Stats collector. Okay, and then if I do that, yeah, okay, so it works like that. That's cool. Cool. Okay, so then the second thing is that no, this is not good because if I run 2 in a row, the state will become messed up. It's not reentrant there. It's either reentrant or not reentrant though. If I make it not reentrant, then I have to build the parallelization machinery inside it, which means promise all settled like the original implementation. And then reduce them there. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, okay, that's a better, okay, I'm going to have to do it like that. So it's going to be stateful, but it's going to be queryable. So let's go back to here. NACT, getting started, querying. Actor systems, yeah. So spawn, is that stateful? Yes, it's stateful. But actually, it would be stateless. They're all stateless. So you query this stats collector. It will be stateless. And then instead of dispatching, it would query. and a query returns a promise. So this machinery will be a little more complicated. I have to flatten it. So what I should do in that case is, before I go and put this part in, which is going to really complicate my thing, I change the machinery to make it synchronous. Stats collector. Okay, it's going to be queryable and it's going to be stateless. So a stateless one doesn't take a state. It no longer takes any message types. It only takes a single message, which is, well, either a test or a query test. Maybe my hierarchy changes, and instead of triggering the reporter in here, I return this to something. Since it's going to be triggered by the, at least while I'm testing it, I want to trigger it from the command line. So I'll trigger it at a higher level and I'll just return the outcome from this, and I won't trigger the reporter in here. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have to do promise all settled here. So we no longer need to track the outcomes. And then we'll just do a reducer on it at the end. I had a working version of this a minute ago. I should have saved it. I should have done a git commit. That would have been a good idea. Let's do that. So get rid of the test actor for now. Move to trash. Let's go to app. Yeah. That's right. We started with getting the secrets from somewhere. Oh yeah, I did figure out a way to do that. The way to do it is like this. I can go and then put a $sign in front of it. Control. Nope. What did I just do? Command Z. How do I get to the line before? Alt. Nope. This one plus this one? Nope. My keyboard is freaking out. I think it's control. No, this one. Yeah, that looks like it. Like that. So it's now valid JSON. So I can now get rid of this. Command X that out. Oof. I've got to put all these back in. Got to rename it to. How do I do that? Yeah, I got to save it and then rename it to config.json. Like that, and then that will make my linter whatever that thing is called, parser happy. Okay. Save. Yeah, okay, it doesn't like trailing commas. There should be a comma there. Comma. Could have done this. Okay, no, that wasn't the smartest thing to do. Not quite. Anyway. What? Go away. Hang on. Property, yeah, they must be double quoted, but no quick fixes available. Okay, so I'll have to write a helper function that goes through and replaces any dollar, any property values that start with dollar with process.env. Whatever. Maybe I could make it like this. Nah. Just make it dollar like that. What happens if you actually literally need to have a dollar symbol in there? Huh. Yeah, that's a problem. So make it like this. Like that. Hopefully there's nobody ever needs anything that has tilde dollar at the start. The other way to do it would be to have it like this. So they're kind of like templated strings. Like that. I think I'll go with this. I do realize I'm doing something completely different from what I just started. Sort of had a couple of ideas and then got sidetracked on them. So anyway, we'll do that. Now we'll go back into app. Let's just make sure that it runs. So, okay, yeah, let's do this thing first. So, okay, so in lib, we're going to create a new file, which is going to be called variable replacer, envar replacer, like that. Export const envar replacer. Why not? Equals. Okay, so I will make it so it can dynamically reload it. So Command V. So what we do is we call this in here. Now, I don't know if that's idempotent. Go to the definition. Configure. What kind of options does it have? Path, encoding, debug. Returns an object with a parsed key. Loads end-file contents into process.env. Yeah, okay, good. So I can modify them at runtime if I do it like this. So it should take in here a config. Then it's going to have to do a deep traversal of all of the keys. So it's going to have to be a recursive function. So function replacer. Let's see if I can write this from scratch, a recursive object keys replacer. I usually just copy it from Stack Overflow. So we start with the top keys. No, put that outside here. Function replacer. Wow. Yeah. So it's going to come with object. And then what we're going to do is we're going to return the yeah. Gonna have to test the keys. I'm just gonna copy this. I'm not gonna bother writing it. It's gonna take ages. So JS recursively replace keys object. Yeah. There's some good ones on Stack Overflow. They've been there for years. I remember doing this in like 2012. Recursively looping through an object to build a property list. Yeah, iterate through. Let's have a look at this answer. For a prettier solution. Okay, properties to array. Complex objects. Here we go. Because it could be arrays and all that kind of jazz. It's gold. Yeah, no. Huh. What was the question? Yeah, no. Maybe Lodash can do it. Don't want to import all of Lodash though. Let's have a look at the Lodash documentation. Recurse. I basically want a visitor. Lodash docs. A visitor over an object. Recurse through an object. Collection. So maybe a collection. Let's try collapsing these things. Number, object. Here we go. Object transform. Example. Nope. Update. It's like a JSON path. Update with customizer. Produce the object of path. Nope. Values, no. Object assign. Defaults, what does this do? Defaults deep. Recursively assigns default properties. Recursively. Nope. For in. Iterates over own and inherited enumerable string key properties. Iterates over, yeah, okay, own. For in. For own. Iterate for each property. Value key object. Okay. Prototype C for in console log key. A, then B. Maybe. For own. Let's see if it can run. Yeah, okay. So, Lodash documentation again. Slow. Array. Nope. Collection. Nah. Could be. Date, no. Function, no. Lang. Nope. Math, no. Number, no. For own. For own right. In the opposite order. Don't care about the order. Okay, so for own object, function value key. Key, value. No. Map values, pick by, set with, update with. Let's see. Deep iterate over object, update values, JavaScript. It's got to be recursive, and then it has to do a check to see if it's like an array or if it's a object key. And then you've got to accumulate it on the outcome. So actually you don't. Actually you don't. I'm going to write it from scratch. Okay, so it brings in the object. Yeah, and then we'll just, because we're mutating the object, we're going to mutate it. So let's just try this. So if now I'm going to have to use Lodash is array. No, I can get that, like JavaScript is array. Maybe is array is like array.isArray. Yeah. Okay, so if array.isArray object actually we could do this case no. Okay, if it's an array, return. If it's a number type of, Object is a number. Actually, there's only two cases that I do need to handle, which is if it's a string, if type of object equals string, it's easier to do it this way, then no. I need to iterate over the keys. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to what I was doing. Like this. Const A equals this thing. Type of A is object. Okay, so if type of A equals object, now I need to iterate over the keys. Here we go. This is the way to do it. Object.keys for each. Iterate over the keys of the object. Okay, so if the key is key, if type of object key is a string, then we do the replacement. And the way we'd do that is we'll say, like this is pretty, object key equals. Now, if the object key, make a helper function for this. Function is templated var value, and then return value starts with this and value ends with this. There we go. Is templated var. If it is, then we're going to replace it with process.env. Okay. Okay. I was going to make it as a side effect, but I'm not going to do that. So function here is called extract key from templated var. Value. Okay, so we need to return. We know it starts with and ends with that, so value dot substring. Now, this is another thing I struggle with in JavaScript, is that there's two different substring methods. There is from and length, or start and end. Zero-based indexed. Let's go with that one. Zero-based, so 0, 1, 2. And then value dot length -2, -3. I don't know. Let's try this out. Const bg equals. Let's grab it out of here. And then I'm going to go g dot, I should have called it value. So go let value equals g, and then call this. Yeah, okay, got it right. Extract key from templated var object.key. Yeah, okay. Const value equals object key, and then it's either or just leave it as it is, unmutated. Well, it's going to go through each of them. Should I do map? No. Okay, yeah. If it's an object, then we go through each of the keys, else. No, you can just do else if. Is that a thing? No. Else if type of object key. What if it's inside an array though? Yuck. If it's an object, then you iterate through it. Okay. If it's an array, well, if it's an object, let's just do this. If it's an object, return replacer object key. It's easier since I'm mutating the object rather than building a new object. If I was building a new object, I'd have to do an accumulator of some kind, but this is just easy. Okay, so if it's an object, then we're going to run through this. Else if type of object key equals array. Nope, is array. If is array, and it's array.isArray. Object key. Dun dun dun. In that case, return replacer. And the reason this works is because JavaScript passes by reference rather than value for objects and arrays or objects. So every time you get a subpart of the object, it's actually a pointer to the memory reference of the actual object. It's not a copy. So if it's an object, then we're going to do that. And if it's an array, if if array is array, I was just thinking in my head if I'm going to start repeating my code here and have to could dry it out. Anyway, if the object is an array, then we need to return object dot for each. Map. do I mutate actually array? Oh, I'm going to have to, if I have to mutate a string in array. Yeah, okay, well anyway, let's just do this. Yeah, map will create a new array, but for each won't. So each element in the array. Okay, so if type of element equals string, then if is templated var string element, now I have to mutate the array. So in that case I need to get the index of the thing. Index, yep. Okay. Replace element in array by index JS. Stack Overflow. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Items index. Yeah, okay. Easy. Object index equals extract key from templated var element, like that. Else if, yeah, I can dry it out here. Get rid of that. Definitely have to run a test on this. Okay, else if it's either of these, if the element yeah, if it's an object or an array, that's okay, it's going to directly mutate it. For each. Return replacer element. Boom. Oh, sick. Yeah, good. So here we would say return replacer config. Oh. Nope. And then return the config. There we go. Rename the symbol to replace templated vars. Okay, so might as well make this a function. Reason being that I can then put my test up the top. Galactic Trumpet I'm listening to. That's a pretty cool name, Galactic Trumpet. So here we would say envar replacer. Okay, let's make some cool object. npm package whatever, rename something to something else. it could be a space. Yeah, okay. But no, let's put it in here, like this. Yep, okay, and then we'll do discourse, and we'll make that like this, and then we'll say forum URL. Forum URL is what? 127.0.0.1. Yep, good, comma. Forum URL, and then API key. This is where we stick in our templated string, and we'll just call it test, like that. And we'll do another one. Forum URL, and we'll use Google's DNS server 8.8.8.8. And API key is test2. Very imaginative, test2. Like that. Okay. So now in the root of my, in here, I'll do .env. And in here I'm going to say test equals that, test2 equals that. And if I now go t source envar replacer lib env var replacer transpiling, I don't believe it. My code actually worked on the first go. I'm a genius. I know, folks. That's why you tune in to see me code, because that was just mind-blowing. What could possibly go wrong? Anyway, I should probably make it into a formal test. Dun dun dun. Mm-hmm. Actually, JSON stringify this thing, comma null, comma 2, because there's a complex object in there. I want to see if it mutated it incorrectly. Rename. Yep, worked. Let's try making something deep, like that. Renamer, yep, it works. Machinery. Data structure. I know, right? Unbelievable. Yes, I am a god. I mean, yesterday I spent 15 minutes debugging an if statement where I accidentally did an assignment by having a single equals in there, and then today I just like write this. Can't believe it. Okay. Should put it into a test so that if bugs do arrive later, I don't have to retest it. It's another rabbit hole, setting up TS Jest. Anyway, it has to be done. So pnpm I TS Jest. Let me check if that's how you do it. tsjest. I have to install TypeScript to the project. Okay. Whatever. And then I got to install these two things. And then I got to run this thing. jest.config.js. Here we go. Okay. Why not? So, tests. Envar replacer. .spec.ts. Oh, wasn't that hard. I haven't really got that far, but let's see. So, go into my test, and then go... Is that how it works these days? Yeah. Envar. Replacer. Comma, and then just do a function. Okay, no more describe, no more it. It's completely made it totally different. Okay, so drop that in there. We're no longer going to console log it. Do I take that out? Take these two out. Take that out. Yep, import. Like that. Yes. Const result equals this. Before all. And then after all. Hopefully this runs if it breaks. Dun dun dun. Okay. What? Test2 equals process.env.test2. And then after all, restore the process to what it was. And process.env.test2 equals test2. Okay. Dun dun dun. Okay, process.env.test equals double underscore test double underscore, and process.env.test2 equals double underscore test2. So expect, is that still a thing? Looks like it. Yep. Expect results dot npm 0 dot rename dot something to be underscore test double underscore. Magic strings. Okay. Expect results dot discourse actually I could do this. Let's see how discourse, yeah, okay, good. One dot yes API key to be test constant. Yep. And basically the same thing, but for, no, that's 0. And should I test whether it doesn't? Yeah. I haven't tested the case where it slices a element in an array, but whatever. This one here. Make sure it didn't mutate anything. Close enough for rock and roll. npmt. See if it works. No test specified. Package JSON. Test. Jest. Epic. Okay, so it works. Yeah, I can get not here. Envar replacer. Get rid of my garage test. Go to the definition, path, encoding, string. Yeah, okay, forget that. Okay. So we can now replace envars app. I can now get it from config.json, which has these things in it, and then I'm going to put them into my env file. So in here, yeah, don't check that in, and don't check in the env file either. Now, require config JSON. Okay, let me just, Okay, I'm just going to configure my .env file with the actual secrets. So give me 1 second. Okay, so get rid of all of these little things here that are in the way. Don't need to see these. I need to see my secrets. Okay, so this is the first one. And the value is this. And then the next one is this API user. And the value comes from here. Okay, next secret value is okay, I made a mistake in setting this up. Let's put this on the right half. Okay, so forum.zbio, we'll just punch that in. And here's the API key. I don't know, as I'm doing this, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you could just like, I mean, yeah. You could derive it all from the URL, the discourse forum URL, and then just use a, see, this is anyway. It's like literally configuration by convention. ZB and then Commanda. API key. And then the API user. Okay, now I am going to get the values. I can get them out of this file here, actually. So BPMN, forum, okay, ZB forum. Key. ZB forum API user. What a jam this is. This one here goes there. Now the Commanda forum stuff. Okay. Commanda forum API key goes here. Oh, I don't have one. That's a bummer. Okay, I didn't create that, and I don't, and it's securely stored in a secret store. Okay. For now, Maybe I could have an enabled and a disabled flag in here. That'd be pretty cool. So, think so. I could make an enabled flag that enables and disables it. Like disabled. Well, no, if there's no API key. Anyway, it'll just error, so it'll be fine. So theoretically, no, not theoretically. If I go back to my app here, I'm just going to delete the private JSON file. Okay. Theoretically, if I run it now, stats query is require this. Send in the stats query. Well, I should just go like env var replacer like this. Theoretically, it should just run. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, I'm on a roll. It's probably just going to run first time. Yep. Errors. Discourse forum stats. Query forum URL. Okay, actually, yeah. So the thing here is that, yeah, it would have punched that out in clear text. So let's have a look at the discourse actor. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Okay, so I guess in the actor itself, in here, message query, I could like scrub any API key. Query. Like this, and then go API key. Only problem is you can't debug if the API key was the problem easily. Anyway, in the last month we've had 154 posts in the ZB forum. So in the last month means in August. 14 people signed up. BPMN.io had 217 people post and 31 people sign up. That thing's on fire. BPMN.js downloads 67,000 in the last month. That's off the chain. Man. 4,573 for ZB Node. Expected outcomes 5. Okay, so it's still using the state accumulator to do the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to checkpoint it now. We can delete this. Yeah. Delete the file forever. Working. And then we're going to make it synchronous and then failed to sign the data. Okay, terminal. Git commit -m working. GNU PG. Somehow I got to like sign my thing. Didn't unlock when I rebooted my machine. Let's just search for the exact thing. Yeah, you can see I've been to this one before. What? Anyway, let's just try running that, see what happens. Okay, worked. So, let's make it synchronous. Synchronous stats collector. Okay, I'm going to take a 5-minute break, stretch my legs, walk around a bit, and I will be back. I can click on my back soon, and then I can put on some music, I think. Nope, no music, sorry about that. Thank you.
pizza.
Can you get one when you get paid?
Did you get gluten-free?
Yeah, you can get that stuff. That's available. That's a thing. Okay, back into it. I did mute myself. Thanks for pointing that out. I did. Thank you. Imagine that. I would have kept going with no sound. That would have sucked. I'm in a bodybuilding competition in, I think, 14 days. 15 days time. I measured my body fat percentage and it's at 14, which is like really high. I need to burn off about 7% of my body fat. If I can burn off 7% of my body fat, then I'll be 7%, which would be like killing it. And I've got 14 days to do it, so I'm gonna have to be hyper focused. I'll have to work out all my numbers and then rigorously manage my energy systems to be able to burn it. So I'll have to perform like I'll have to do lifting to build more mass, but not so much that I get like fatigued and I can't perform the activities I need to do to burn the fat off. I need to make sure my calorie intake is sufficient that I don't lose muscle mass, but not so much that I'm gaining fat. I need to do enough cardio to burn the fat off. I can do it. Yes. If you'd asked me about it like 2 years ago, it would have been like impossible, but yeah. It's just all numbers and then managing the numbers. And then the other thing is I have to make sure that I get enough sleep. That's going to be the biggest challenge. So I have to regulate my sleeping patterns. Not sleeping enough causes body fat to increase. It also causes muscle mass to decrease, cortisol and adrenaline. So I need to sleep like 10 hours a day, so I'll have to like drop all my stimulants. Okay, so I'm going to make this thing synchronous. Right on. Okay, Make this synchronous, make it synchronous. So this one is now going to be a stateless. Yep, and it's going to respond to a query. So take out the state and then spawn it as stateless. What? Okay, spawn, here we go, spawn stateless. It's a stateless actor. And it's going to respond to a query. So whatever it returns, it needs to be asynchronous. So we now no longer need to respond to these different types. It's just going to take a query. Not exported from types. Export interface. Yep. Okay, so it takes a query. Don't need to switch on anything anymore. Get rid of that. We can get rid of all of this. Dun dun dun. Now, pull this out. Don't need this anymore. Save that. And then go to the app. And dun dun dun. We're now going to query it. Expected 3 arguments and we got 2. Timeout. So we'll give it 10 seconds, hey? Shouldn't take that long. And then we just pass the stats query straight in. And then I should say const result. No, I don't even need to do that. I can then do then result and then dispatch that. Oh. Here I'm going to do result. And instead of that, acting reporting actor equals that, and then dispatch it to the reporting actor, the result, and it will, ta-da, block scoped is used before. Ref. Okay, so this now is stateless. Can only do one query at a time. Doesn't use merge anymore. Might use it later. Don't need any of these things. Okay, so message comes in, message query, which is like basically anything. Go to the definition. Yeah, okay, it's just any. So this is actually any. And I should actually change this to rename symbol to query. Rename the symbol to query message. There we go. Okay, so take that out like that. Each of them, query message, actor name, and then a query for the actor. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, so instead of dispatching them, yeah, this is where I need to flatten it. So, okay, so flat map. I think flat map. Flat map doesn't exist. So what does exist? I think in order to use flat map, I need to, let's check. Flat map and node. Flat map, node. When did it get supported? I'm using node 12. Browser. Node 11. Perfect. Okay, so to be able to use flat map in TypeScript, I'm going to have to add a lib definition. Flat map doesn't exist on type any. JavaScript flat map implementation, Chrome 70, blah, blah, blah. ES 2019 array. This is ES 2019, I guess. So if I go into my TS config, lib, ES 2019. ES 2019. Yes, like that. So now I should have flat map. Flat map. Yes, okay. And then instead of, I do map. And then here I'm going to return query, like that. Get rid of this. And in that case, I can do, could do this. Get rid of this. And then I can get rid of return. Like that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Save that. Way better. So then I can say const results, outcomes. They're not results, they're outcomes. Equals this. I guess tasks, and then const outcomes equals await promise dot settled, all settled. Tasks. So, okay, all settled. Is it going to tell me? Nope, it doesn't. Promise all settled is probably in ES 2020, so let's go ES 2020. See what that does. Yes. Okay. Ta-da! There we go. And I'll just return that for now, and then we can take a look at it and see what needs to happen to it. And so if I run it, it should work. Yeah, okay. So that's collector actor. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so let's go back to this actor. Instead of dispatching this, I need to return it. Yep, and then here, same deal. Error, result. Could that be all I need to do? Don't know. Nope. Type void. Save. Same thing. Okay, so this actor is the wrong type. It takes a promise. Okay. Let's have a look at NACT again. Flat map, deep iteration, JS recursion, enums, curly braces, switch statement. We ended up getting rid of that. On timer events, querying. So in order to make an actor that can respond to a query, query this, yep, await, result type. Where's the actor? Here it is, spawn. Oh, does it need to be stateful? It does. Okay. Okay, so dispatch query message dot sender. Get contacts. Okay, so to query it, query. Query the actor. Okay. App. Query this thing. The sender. Sender. This is going to be this function sender. Like that. Yeah, okay. Let's try that. Does that work? Stats collector. Query timeout. Okay. Does it need to be a stateful? Tasks, yeah, okay, so let's put a debug in here. Console log query message. Query MSG. Query MSG. Oh, I got my back soon thing scrolling across the screen. Yeah, okay, make that invisible. Oh, good. It logs out the API keys. Great. Okay, so I should scrub the API keys. Okay. From the result. Do that in the reporting actor or do that in here? Same thing here. Message renamer function. Okay, time to revoke the API keys yet again. Okay. They would be useful to see for the purposes of okay, admin API, revoke, add new API key. Huh. Yeah, I should have, wonder if I can do it with my own user. Maybe. No. Let's do it like this. So this is the BPMN IO one. And the ZB Forum one. New API key. Stats collector. User level, all users, save. ZB Forum. Okay. So I can close that. Done. Okay. Okay. So, on an error, scrub the API key. Yep. Do the same thing on the success so that it does not log out the API keys to the console. It's kind of a bit more secure. Not as easy for debugging, but and it logs them out again. Okay. Now I have to revoke them again, yet again. Okay, so that's because I'm logging it out here. This is why. Okay, I think I know why it's doing it. Let me just quickly do this. Same issue I had on the other one. Got to use the virtual sender, not the actual one. And give each of them 10 seconds. Okay, and run it. Query timeout. Okay, got to revoke the API keys again. Revoke. And here, revoke. Okay. Go back to the API keys. Create new API key. Dun dun dun. Stats collector. This one is for the ZB one. ZB forum. Continue. Oh, permanently delete. That's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I need to do that. Permanently delete. Erase all evidence of my transgression. Stats collector. This is from BPMN.io. Okay. Save that, close that, and then I can continue here. If I go here, all API keys. Let's have a look at this one. Permanently delete. Permanently delete. Okay, good. Now, I'm back. Okay, so we're creating these tasks. Flat map. For each of these actors, I'm going to get back a query. And then I'm awaiting the promises all settled. Query. App. Let's have a look. Stats collector. So query. Who am I querying? Sure. Take the sender. Add that to the message. So tasks should be an array of promises. Let's have a look at the NPM actor. Takes a message in, message range, message query, range and query. Yep. Yeah, it comes in there. NPM actor, and then it should immediately say, hey, I'm doing something. Okay, so one thing I could log here kind of safely is that. Okay, query and run. Okay. Sender. How do I take Okay. So what I need to do is const sender equals query message dot sender. Yep. Yeah. Like this. Yep. And then do this. Query message dot delete sender. Like that. Mm-hmm. No, actually, that's not the best way to do it. the thing is, I shouldn't be sending... raw messages in. So in here, should be like this. Query. And then in here, I should say query message.query. Query message.query. Like that. That's better. And nothing. Okay. So, none of my actors got invoked. Could it be this? Yeah. Dun. Okay, const log equals take a thing and then console.log the thing and return false. So in here I can say, let's see if it's getting this thing. Log that, return that. Okay, gets the actors. Parent, yeah, cool. Actor system reference. Query timeout. How many of these did it get? Just one. What does query return? Go to the definition. Okay, that's why. Yeah, okay. So I have to change that to Q. It's a shadowed name, that's the problem. Like that. Add query. Q.rename. That's why. Now it should just work. Yep. Okay, so tasks. At debug. Settled. See if we made it that far. These promises are pending. It says that it's doing the thing. So we come in here. So we were doing the thing, got the data, then we returned it. It returns it to the actor, then, oh yeah, you can't return it, you have to message.sender. You have to dispatch it. To message.sender. Like that. Same thing here. Dispatch this to the message.sender, comma. Yay! Okay, let me just check if it scrubbed my API keys. It did. Epic. Status fulfilled, status fulfilled. Value, okay, error. So value, so I have to take the values off them. Value. Stats collector. Okay. So outcomes. Outcomes. Now, it's an array. I'm going to reduce the array. Previous value, current value. Okay, and then I start it with an empty array. So I'm going to push them in. So I need to return everything from the previous array. Nope, I'm going to return an object. So, results. Dun dun dun. Is everything from the previous results. Which is going to be an array. Dun, comma. So start it with this object. Never? Yeah. So start it with results, which is an array, and errors, which is an array. Like that. And then current dot value dot result. If that exists, like this. Okay. What? Once they're settled, outcomes should be, yeah, okay, settled result. Right. Status fulfilled. Ah, because they don't reject. What if they reject? The query could reject because it was timed out. Right. Wow. Huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. It understands that. It's good. Now I'm building a promise reducer. Sucks. It's going to be an either reducer. But the promises themselves could... Yeah, it could take longer than 10 seconds to get it. Like... Outcomes.reduce. Could be rejected. Well, anyway. Result. Ding. And then errors. Which is the previous errors. Which doesn't really need to be... Save a bit of memory. Okay. I do need to put that in there because it could be fulfilled, but with an error. So you have to do it like this. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is if it's fulfilled. So results are the previous results. Otherwise, errors are the previous errors plus this error. Previous dot errors and current dot value dot error, like that. Otherwise, now, yeah, okay, reason and status. But we lose all the information about, so it's a weird error that we can't diagnose. Return. like that. And then I should say promise rejected. But who knows which one it was. That's dumb. Probably timed out reason and status. Okay, yeah, I know what to do. What doesn't it like? Overload 1 of 3, yeah, arguments, results, never, error, never. What? Okay, whatever. As any. Does that do it? Yeah. Okay. I actually can. What we could do is can put catch on here. E. Nope. If this promise rejects E, yeah, okay, so we can say error. Okay, so yeah, okay, if E has an error on it, if it doesn't, then we're going to return error actor name. No, just actor. And that is actor name. Query. Q. But Q with the API key scrubbed. And here, this is going to be called E dot reason to string, like that. So they should always be fulfilled then. Yeah, okay. Let's run it again. And this time we should get a nice object with the results. Where? Const response equals outcomes reduce, and then dispatch the response. Okay. Yep. Results. Like that. Okay, so results should not have the API key added to it. The error query should have the API key scrubbed. Yep. So it gets scrubbed at that point. So yeah, we need to scrub it there as well. Okay. Nice. But here we should put redacted, I think. Like this. Redacted. And put that also in the stats collector in here. The fact that I'm doing that twice makes me think there's something wrong with that. But that's okay. Can afford to get rid of that now. Okay. Yeah, okay, this machinery is a bit complicated if someone wants to add another actor that's significantly different. That's one thing. Get rid of merge, because we no longer use it. So, P. Hello. PNPM R merge. Don't need that function anymore. Yeah, good luck understanding this code. It's gone too far to the functional side. And then it has this actor model, which is... okay, so message is going to have range and a query on it, which is cool. No, should still be okay. Stats query actor function. Yeah, you just make a stateless thing that returns a promise. And if it throws, you just don't worry about it. It's taken care of by the machinery. And then the orchestration of the thing is taken care of. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to touch anything in here. Yeah, as long as they follow the interface, they'll be fine. So to create a new actor, you just create a stats query actor function. Create an interface for your query. I mean, rather than just calling it T, could call it query. Query shape. Yeah, that's better. Stats query message. What's that look like? Range and query. Okay, so we should change that to message then. Takes a message. So if I go back here, takes a message, stats query message, query shape. Promise. Yeah, that's cool. No, it's cool. Okay, so this here is actually of the same type now as this. It's a stats query function actor. Stats query actor function. But we just type it as any. Import. Nope, what's the problem? Promise void. Yeah, okay. Hey, need for it. No, Falco is doing his day job today. We are going to do another one, but it'll probably be next week. Any requests? I can make requests from Falco if you got something that you particularly want to look at. Zero 22.1, that's pretty old school. Although, I don't know if you've seen this. Let's have a look. Performance profiling tool. This might make you feel a bit better about it. Yeah, that's correct. I haven't tried 0.22.1 with this profiling tool, but if you have a look here, depending on how many partitions you're running it with, but like 2 partitions on 0.22.5 is 69 TPS on this test. And then the latest alpha of 25 that I ran it on, you could run it with 1 partition, you could get 51 TPS, but everything else in between has been significantly slower. So from version 23 onwards, it went slowed down. And you can see the speed is starting to pick back up again now. I mean, that's a very short run. These were like 30-second runs. Actually, I did a longer run in the garage benchmark. I think there's a longer run in here. Nope. Yeah. I did do some 10-minute runs on it. But even just looking at this, you can see it's faster. You know, it's getting these kind of speeds. And then look how slow these are. Runs like a dog. And I don't mean a greyhound. $33.69. Killing it. This is with 2 partitions and back pressure disabled. So Yeah, you're not really missing out on much. Unless no, let me put it another way. You didn't miss out on much, unless there's some features in those ones that you needed. But performance-wise, it's just starting to come back to the classic 22 level. I see. Okay. Query messages any. Add all missing imports. Yeah, I would jump directly to 25 if I were waiting for it. I would test it first, of course. I'm going to run that performance profiling tool on like a Google Cloud VM. I've just been running it on my laptop, but you can see how variable my laptop is. Like, depending on what's happening, it goes all over the place. Stats collector actor. Don't need to log that out anymore. And okay, now I'm going to do the ZB integration. It's now synchronous. It can return a result, which looks like this: results and errors. So we can now do this. So my test worker will now query the stats collector. Where does it get its query from? Like that, and awesome. This is a promise. Yeah, it's a promise. So make this async. And then I really need to make this a constant somewhere, configurable. I guess I just whack it at the top here. 20 seconds. Okay, so new client release for 25. I don't think so. I guess I will. I'll just update the number to keep it up to date, but there are no changes in the client that are correlated with the broker, because the client API is still exactly the same. There is a pending release which fixes an error in the batch worker, which I didn't realize anyone was using, but someone is. And it's the other thing I'm going to do. How do I remove a package? Remove? Okay, deep merge. And there's another issue, which is a memory leak. So a user has reported, like, he leaves it running in Docker and then the memory just keeps going up and up and up and up. I'm not sure why. But I was thinking about, in terms of tracking that error down, and also based on the deep dive that Falco and I did into the Java client, of refactoring the ZB Node client using this actor model. One of the reasons it might be leaking memory is I've done something similar to the actor model with it, but I've used event emitters. And event emitters can definitely leak memory, especially if I create connections to the server and then, yeah. You know, if I had one actor which was just doing the job polling, and then as it does the job polling, it dispatches any jobs that come into I haven't quite figured that out yet, how these things would be, what the hierarchy would be. But basically the idea is to use this NACT library to do the communication between the components. And then at the very top of it, at the developer API level, you'd have the same API interface. So the client would look the same, but internally it would use actors to coordinate everything. There's also a problem that I found doing the performance profiling, that the Node client can make too many requests of the broker, because it doesn't have that same 100 millisecond default backoff that the Java client does. And that's not a guaranteed 100 millisecond backoff, but it'll only poll every 100 milliseconds. So anywhere up to 100 milliseconds. So it's got like a built-in backoff. Whereas Node just polls as fast as it can. Yeah, it's going to be fun. This is a promise. It's pretty easy. Let's go like this. Then I guess complete dot success, and I'm putting in a lambda because it might cause a problem with the context. Anything goes wrong with that, like that. I know Philip said that they were bringing it out soon. Let's have a look. So they're getting ready to, they're just flattening a few issues in the repo before they release this one. Let's have a look. Issues. 24.3 is the latest. Milestones. Nope. No due dates. Advanced expression support. Labels. Dun dun dun. Well, there are 4 issues open against the current release, so it's not coming out before those are fixed. Cool. Remove active control methods. What does that do? That's the other reason I'm using actors to make this thing, because this way I can understand a bit more of the ZB source code. I'd like to refactor the actor control such that we only methods we really need. It's currently somehow confusing for us and also for starters. Which method is used when? Trim down the interface. Only needed methods like only have a submit or run method. Remove run on first completion. It would be quite cool actually if these actors could run in isolated memory spaces. And I mean, the way the Erlang VM works is you have like a supervisor. Does an act have a supervisor? Yeah, it must. Supervisor. Yeah, so you have a hierarchy, but then you have a supervisor. So the system must be the supervisor in this, which is here. Because, yeah, you make them, in the hierarchy, they belong to the system. Resets the faulted child each time. Delay the reset. Const reset. These code samples are so small. Consuming, rate limiting, modify contact service, supervision policy. So on crash, reset. 4th parameter to spawn is the active property object. Expanded upon in later sections. Timeouts. Parent. Spawn. Name. Service stops if it hasn't received a new message in 10 minutes. Snapshotting. Yeah, this is if you use persistence. Snapshots. Snapshot 20 messages. Persist. rebuilding the in-memory state. Yeah, okay. Rebuilds the memory state like Redux. If it's not recovering, then persist it. Okay, so configure persistence method. Okay, so back to this. Okay, so according to this, yeah, I should be able to connect it to Commando Cloud. Let's do it. Let's use this replicated cluster. So clients, create a new client. Yeah. This one, call it the NACT test. I'll delete it after this. Ding. So let's grab the secret. And then I'll paste it into here. And into here. Okay, so I now have my ZB Commando Cloud credentials in the environment. So if I run this app, should start and deploy a workflow, or deploy a workflow anyway, and start a worker. Let's see, what could possibly go wrong? Yes. Okay, good. So what I can do then is go to the app here, and instead of running this, so it says that one of my elements doesn't have, okay, yeah, stats collection. Save. Stats collector. Run. Boom. ZBCTL. Create work flow instance. I don't know. Instance. So I can just do this. And this should, with result, address, audience, auth, cert path, client cache, blah blah blah, client secret, insecure. Create instance double minus help. with result. Yep. With result, like that. Find out. Nope. Capital R. Allow. Allow. Epic. So, right, overload the timeout. Timeout, timeout, timeout. Deadline, I think it's called. Insecure. Create instance with result, address, audience, auths. I don't know, let's try timeout. Nope. Deadline. Nope. ZBCTL deadline. Clients. Nope. Where would I find it? Getting started tutorial. Create and complete instances. Insecure variables, yeah. Variables. So ZBCTL double minus help. ZBCTL create minus help. Help. ZB, no, ZBCTL create double minus help. Okay, come on. Instance double minus help. Insecure with variables. This is weird. How do I actually set the await on this? Wow, this is me opening a bug before I was working at Commanda. This is like... Okay, it's going back in the days. Okay, generating 3-node cluster. Deadline, come on. Forum. Let's try this. Nope. Okay, what's the error message that I get? Deadline exceeded. Went. Interacting with services inside the cluster. Okay, come on. Come on. Okay, let's look at the source code. Okay, clients. And go. Clients go commands ebctl. Here we go. Let's have a look at the main.go file. Nope, not that one. Internal commands. Activate jobs. This one is create instance. Okay. Default timeout. Oh, there's no way to expand the timeout. Really? There must be. Nope. This is not useful. Okay, so well, I should be able to see it and operate actually. Overview, view and operate. Completed instances. Or if it has, might have failed. No, it would have been retried. Run stats collector. Yeah, okay, this is like active completed. So it ran. Epic. Epic. Okay, but you just can't get the... Really? Issues. Filter. None. New issue. Feature request. Extend deadline for with result using ZBCTL with flag. I'm waiting for the result from a workflow that takes longer than 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever. Using ZBCTL, I get a timeout. And there is no flag in the help to set a longer deadline to wait for the response. Timeout, milliseconds. ZBCTL create instance process ID with result timeout milliseconds. Yeah. ZBCTL. Okay, I can trigger it from a ZB worker. So I can test it, and I've got a UI which is remote. That's pretty cool. Still have to get the deployment and writing to the Google Doc. I wonder then if we could put the Google Doc writer in a ZB worker. We'll trigger it from there, so make the triggering of this from anyway, I'll think about that a bit more. But either way, at the moment, it's winning. So then complete success. Yeah, it works. I don't need this. Winning. Okay, that's enough for today. Thanks for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow to continue with this. And we'll figure out something for the deep dive for next time. Next deep dive with my man Falco.